I'm Jammer in the section during Ubisoft's E3 2017 presentation, whatever thing. The first thing they talked about was Mario and Rabbids RPG, or now known Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's a real thing. I mean, it's pretty obvious, the rumors slash leaks. I mean, it was basically all leaked out, and it was pretty obvious that yes, this is a real thing. It was just a matter of when we're going to see it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be during Nintendo's Direct, or a presentation, or Ubisoft's, but no, we saw it here, and it was the first thing of the show, which is freaking fantastic. Shigeru Miyamoto was on stage. They had the whole arm cannons and everything. And first off, the one thing I have to say, just a reaction to all this, is just it looks a lot better than I expected. Like, really. Okay, first of all, let's start off with just the overworld stuff. And kind of what we saw in the rumors anyways, it came to us to expect anyways, that they were saying that, like, the focus of the game was on the combat. And the outside overworld stuff wasn't supposed to be, like, I don't know, it wasn't supposed to be the focus of the game. Like, it was a portion of it, but it looked, and in the gameplay itself, it did look kind of minimalistic, for sure. Like, they showed off a lot of crazy, like, weird looking stuff, because basically, like, the Mushroom Kingdom's in chaos, because, like, the worlds are combining, you know, between Rabbids and Mario Kingdom and stuff like that, which is really cool looking. So, like, one of my favorite scenes is the freaking, like, the giant toilet with, like, a rubber ducky in it. Like, it's, like, absolutely ridiculous, you know, but it did look kind of, like, bland. I mean, I don't know, all the gameplay they were showing of you walking around was just grabbing coins and stuff. I'm sure there's, like, secrets and whatnot that you can find, but like they even previously stated, that this game is not intentionally supposed to be, like, about the overworld exploration, stuff like that. It's really focused on the combat, and that's what we saw here too, was the combat. And let me tell you, not what I expected. Holy cow, it is, because we knew it was going to be turn-based, but that's really all we kind of knew. We knew it was, like, tactical and stuff like that, but, like, I don't know, this was not what I expected. It's very similar to, like, a Fire Emblem game in a sense, because there's, like, a grid-based layout. It's turn-based, like we previously mentioned, but it's got this weird, it's got this, like, I don't know, it's got this interesting mechanic with the shooting and stuff, and, like, kind of even borrowing from Fire Emblem, like, depending where you're placed, you can actually have certain attributes, for example, like, how in Fire Emblem, if you, like, stop yourself on a castle or whatnot, you actually have higher, dodging or whatever. You got, like, a higher rate to dodge the attack or speed, but, like, for example, here they have, like, there'll be blocks and half blocks, and each one will represent, like, if you're behind a full block, you have, like, full coverage, so you won't be hit by the enemy shots, but also if you're at half coverage, you can kind of dodge and, like, or duck underneath, but also shoot up above it and stuff like that. And there's all these interesting concepts with, like, the, what was it, you can, so basically, so it is a grid, but on your turn, you can move to any spot in a specific, like, set area around your character, so it's not actually, like, perfectly a grid, necessarily, anyways. And what's interesting is, even amplify your movement, you can actually, bump into one of your other teammates to get a boost, and then that jump can actually extend your, like, movement. And so basically, what, like, one of the, clips they showed was, the Luigi Rabbid went into now, I guess they're not called warp pipes. What are they called now? Rabbid pipes. Yeah, because it's got the little bunny ears on it. So yeah, he goes in one of those and comes out the other side. He does a little, like, slide attack on the enemy just to, like, buffer a little hit onto him, you know, as, like, a close range melee thing. Then, in the same turn, still moves over to where Mario is, jumps off of him to get behind some cover to then flank the enemy for a shot. Like, a quick shot to take him out. Which is, like, crazy amount of depth to a game that I did not expect to be as, you know, like, as in depth. And then, like, so, and, like, now I totally understand what they were talking about, how you don't directly control the characters in the overworld, because they use that little robot thing to kind of guide the characters around, which I guess it makes sense, but like I said, the whole gameplay sequence of the just walking around the world I don't know, it didn't excite me that much. Like, maybe there's stuff to explore that they weren't talking about here, because obviously the focus is the combat, but really, they were just kind of walking around collecting coins and really weird looking environments. But what's cool is, like, every enemy section you encounter or battle you encounter, it's like a set area or like a map, kind of like a Fire Emblem map. So basically you can, like I can see them, like, that's how they design the worlds, where like there's all these set areas where you'll be placing battle. Because I was under the impression, like, there'll just be enemies walking around. If you bump into the enemy, that initiates a turn-based combat. Rather, if you go into a specific area, that area will have a map of enemy Rabbids you need to take out, and it's a lot more strategic than I really expected. That's, like, the biggest thing I can take away from this, like, reaction thing. It's, like, it is not at all what I expected, you know. There's also another layer of depth that they're talking about where, you can actually get different weapon types and equip them to different characters and upgrade them and stuff. So there's, like, they're like skill trees essentially for like your characters and stuff. So there's a lot of like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't really expect to be a thing into this game. Especially, I mean, because what we've seen from the rumor / leak stuff anyways, I mean, the game itself is supposed to be on the shorter side anyways. And I mean, once the full game comes out, obviously I can't judge the predictions just yet, but I mean, if it's got all this depth but it is a rather shorter experience, like, is it going to be even worth having the depth, or is it like a more simple experience? Is it worth replay value? I'm not entirely sure. Again, that's something we'll have to decide once the game comes out. But I have to say, from what they've shown off, I am absolutely intrigued. Like, at first, I like everyone else, I'm like, no way is this gonna work. Rabbids and Mario, like, no one asked for this, no one really wants this, especially in an RPG or turn-based format. Like, what's going on here? But then after seeing it in action, I'm rather impressed. I really am. And I hope this game gets a fair chance in people's minds. I hope people don't just judge it on the fact that it's Rabbids and Mario. Like, why the heck would you ever want this game and just not get it? I'm really interested to definitely try it out this week at the show floor, because it did state that it will be playable. And I bet you it's going to be very focused, again, like they said, on the battles. It might be like the starting area, so you do walk around a little bit and then initiate into a battle. But I don't know, I'm really interested to see like what else they can do with this game. And like, I don't know, it's just like the battle is so unexpected to how I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was going to be like, you know, Mario, you select your Mario character and then you just choose what move they're going to do and what enemy you attack, then you're done. And you go to the next character and choose, you know, like a Pokemon format or like a Paper Mario, if you want to say format, or better example, probably Mario and Luigi series, like that RPG, like kind of like that kind of turn-based. Well, this is like a totally innovative thing, and they even said that on the press conference, like on the show or on the stage, for example. Yeah, like Shigeru Miyamoto said that that he's happy for Ubisoft to make this game, but the only exception is that it cannot be a platforming Mario game. It has to be something that's never been done before. And that's like a really, like, honestly, that is a really hard thing to put on somebody's shoulders. Like, hey, you can use Mario, go ahead, you can make a Mario game, but it has to be like unlike any game we've ever made before. Like, what are you supposed to do there? And I think, you know, honestly, it's something that's rather impressive. Like, I think it looks really interesting, and again, like I was kind of surprised with ARMS and the depth in that game. Like, there's a surprising amount of depth to something that looks as simple as it was, well, initially perceived to be. I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most here is to see what kind of different enemy types there are and how that can change up gameplay. Maybe like flying units, or maybe certain units that are like armored, or maybe ones that are more vulnerable to certain gun types versus others and stuff like that. I really want to see like different kind of like map variants, like, because obviously the one we saw was like very basic, which is fine. It was just like a, you know, they had a basic layout with like a few blocks here and there. And what's cool is I forgot to fail to mention this actually, but the bigger blocks, if you shoot a few shots at those blocks, you can actually break them down, so then they're no longer used for cover. And then each character, like we've seen before, has a special ability. Like Mario's, for example, if you set them up correctly, if a Rabbid during their turn moves into his like area of shot, or eye of sights, or whatever you want to call it, like he can shoot when it's not even his turn, and so he can potentially take out that enemy before they even get a chance to actually attack, which is so interesting. And man, I literally can't go over that this game actually looks kind of good. It does. It looks kind of good, and it's a freaking Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle RPG. I don't know. It's fantastic. It's just fantastic that I don't know, it just exceeded my expectations. I was honestly thinking it was going to be like a really watered down experience, like super quote-unquote dumbified for like players. I don't know, just make it super easy, super fun, just like basically for like little kids to just enjoy the toilet humor and stuff like that. But now looking at it, I'm like, hold on, this might be something that's actually going to be on my radar. And like the rumor, or all the leak stuff said, it's going to be coming out this August. I believe it was like one of the last weeks of it, like the 17th or maybe the 20th something. I didn't recognize entirely. But oh yeah, one last thing I do want to talk about before I wrap it up. We did see an end cutscene, if you want to call it, or end trailer at the end of the presentation, where they showed off a giant rabbid, like shaped like Donkey Kong. He's got like you know, the tie and like the white fur going on and stuff like that. So this could lead to maybe there being some sort of boss battle incorporation to the game. I can't remember if that was actually in the leaked stuff or not. Potentially it was. But anyways, that's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to be done in a, you know, tactical Fire Emblem-esque format. You know, I'm interested to see how it's going to take. Like, I'm hoping, obviously, they'll have a good amount of health. And, like, you know, it'd be really cool. Like, let's say, like, you go in for a few shots and you want to back out and, like, keep going back and forth, duck and cover. You know, try to get some cool setups and combos, kind of like they showed with Mario and Luigi, shooting that one Rabbid multiple times in the air. You also kind of saw the, there was, like, different elevations in that map. So it's like, I don't know, there's a ton of crazy stuff that this game has potential to do. And like I said, I'm just so shocked that this is a real thing. Two quick last things to mention. Grant Kirkhope, the guy who did the soundtrack for Ukulele, as well as the Banjo-Kazooie series, you know, and he's like a lot of the Rare games as well. He's actually composing this game, which is fantastic. I cannot wait to see what he does in this game. The music in the trailer is already fantastic, so that you know we're in for a good musical selection for this game. And the other thing is there's actually figurines that you can pre-order or purchase through Ubisoft.com or something like that. And interesting they're not amiibo, I guess. That's the only thing I was like kind of weird. I'm like, why? Like, it's interesting that there are figurines, but they're not considered amiibo. Like, almost should have been amiibo, but I mean, maybe there's a little more hoops they have to jump through there, because then that's getting produced and developed through Nintendo, while these are just figurines that they can sell on their own, while just like borrowing the IP or the costumes of the other Mario characters for the Rabbids. I'm not entirely sure, but it was interesting that they weren't amiibo, I guess. I wasn't expecting amiibo, like, but when they announced that they were figurines, I'm like, why aren't these amiibo? But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this, like, what do I guys think about Mario Rabbids RPG, or I keep calling it that, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle for Nintendo Switch? What do you guys think? Like, honestly, like I said, I am genuinely impressed, as good as it looks, like, straight up. But yeah, definitely guys, let me guys know what you guys think of everything we saw. Give this video a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, subscribe for tons on Nintendo E3 2017 coverage. Tomorrow's the first day, cannot wait. We're gonna have our digital event. They're gonna show off, I cannot wait. Man, I can't freaking wait. Okay guys, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.